Laura Muir, 32 years old, Olympic silver medalist. A qualified veterinarian who chose the track over the clinic, she had not raced a mile in nearly 3 years. Then she walked onto the most famous running track on Earth, and the sport held its breath. Laura Muir was born on May 9, 1993, in Inverness, Scotland. She grew up in Milnathort, a small town in Perth and Kinross, where she attended Kinross High School. She was not just a runner. She was a student, an animal lover, and someone who had set 2 enormous goals at exactly the same time: become a world-class athlete and become a veterinarian. Most people struggle to do one of those things. Laura Muir did both. She enrolled at the University of Glasgow to study veterinary medicine. 7 years. That is how long the degree takes in Scotland. While her peers trained full-time on professional contracts, Muir was in lecture halls and animal clinics, studying anatomy and pharmacology, then lacing up her spikes and running faster than almost any woman in Europe. She graduated as Dr. Laura Muir in the summer of 2018. The timing of that graduation was not a coincidence. That same year, she won the European 1500-meter title in Berlin, becoming the first British woman ever to win that event at the European Championships. While still a veterinary student, she had often trained early in the morning, fit sessions around clinic placements on farms, and turned up to animal hospitals after flying back from international meetings. She left a veterinary exam and walked onto one of the biggest stages in European athletics. She was always doing 2 things at once, and she was always doing both at the highest level. From 2016 onward, Muir became a fixture in major championship finals. She broke Kelly Holmes's British 1500-meter record in July 2016, running 3 minutes and 55 seconds to become the fastest British woman at that distance in history. She was 7th at the Rio Olympics that same year, where a tactical final caught her out. She came home without a medal. She did not let it define her. She won the European Indoor 1500-meter and 3000-meter double in 2017 and again in 2019, becoming the first athlete in history to complete that specific back-to-back achievement. She won the 2018 World Indoor Silver at 1500 meters. She claimed 2 Diamond League overall titles. Each year, she showed up in major finals and competed. Then came Tokyo. At the delayed 2020 Olympics in August 2021, Laura Muir won the silver medal in the 1500 meters. She clocked 3 minutes and 54 seconds, breaking her own British record in the process. She crossed the line behind Faith Kipyegon, who is considered the greatest female 1500-meter runner of all time, and ahead of Sifan Hassan and every other woman on the track. It was Scotland's first individual Olympic medal in any track event since Liz McColgan won silver at the Seoul Games in 1988. In July 2023, she set the British mile record at 4 minutes and 15 seconds at the Monaco Diamond League. That time placed her inside the world all-time top 10 at the mile. She was 30 years old and still setting national records. Paris 2024 was supposed to be the moment everything came together. Muir arrived at the Stade de France in peak shape. She had run a British 1500-meter record of 3 minutes and 53 seconds at the Paris Diamond League just weeks before the Games. She was deep into her 24th major championship final. She knew how to race. She had been here before. The final was electric. Ethiopia's Gudaft Tsege blasted out at a pace that fractured the field before the first bend. Muir, running a patient plan, was far back in the opening laps. By the final lap, she had latched onto the leaders and was part of a 5-way fight for medals. Faith Kipyegon won gold in an Olympic record. Australia's Jessica Hull took silver, and Georgia Bell, Muir's British teammate, sprinted past her in the final strides to claim bronze. Muir finished 5th. Her time was 3 minutes and 53 seconds, a personal best. She ran faster than the mark that earned her a silver medal in Tokyo 3 years earlier. She ran the race exactly as she had planned. And she came away without a medal because 4 women on that track were extraordinary on that particular night. She said afterward, "I ran that race exactly like I wanted to. I ran a big personal best, but unfortunately it wasn't fast enough. But I wouldn't change anything about that race." That is the hardest kind of loss in sport, the kind where you do everything right, and it still is not enough. After Paris, Muir made a decision. She would take her time. She skipped the entire 2026 indoor season. No major indoor meets, no world indoors. While other athletes were chasing times in February and March, Muir was building quietly. In February, she entered the Scottish Cross Country Championships and won the senior women's race, away from Diamond League cameras and championship pressure. It was a deliberate choice. She had been focusing on speed endurance through winter, working on a different kind of fitness base. There were whispers in the British athletics community that she might eventually step up from the 1,500 meters to the 5,000 meters. Muir herself had mentioned this possibility. "I still think I have a lot to give at 1,500 meters, but I would like to have a crack at the 5,000 meters one day," she said after Paris. Whatever the plan, she arrived at May in a different kind of shape. Not the razor-sharp speed of an indoor season. Something deeper. Something built for a longer game. On May 4, 2026, Laura Muir walked onto the Iffley Road track in Oxford. This is not a normal track. On May 6, 1954, Roger Bannister ran the first sub-4-minute mile in human history on this exact ground. The cinder surface has been replaced, but the weight of that moment still lives there. The event she entered, the Bannister Mile celebration, is organized by the Oxford University Cross Country Club. Now in its third year, it drew over 260 athletes across 25 individual mile races. The women's elite race was named the Millicent Fawcett Mile, honoring the British suffragist who led the National Union of Women's Suffrage Societies and helped secure women's voting rights in 1918. Muir had not raced the mile in a competitive setting since her British record run in Monaco in 2023. Nearly 3 years away from the distance. 3 years of championships at 1,500 meters, cross-country in Scotland, and a winter building towards something new. She won with room to spare. She crossed the line in 4 minutes and 34 seconds, more than 9 seconds clear of Cara Brady-Jones in second place. Sonia O'Sullivan's Iffley Road track record of 4 minutes and 27 seconds from 2004 was not under threat on this day, and neither was Muir's own British record. She was not racing the clock. She was marking her return, feeling the distance again, and doing it in front of a crowd that understood what they were watching. She became the first British woman ever to win the Millicent Fawcett Mile. After the race, Muir pointed to her winter speed endurance work and acknowledged possibly moving to the 5,000 meters. What is clear is this: Muir is 32. She ran a personal best in the Paris Olympic final, won the Scottish cross country in February, and returned to the mile to win convincingly on Britain's most storied track.